Greetings everyone, and welcome to my coin collection. Today's coins are a pre-decimal set released by the United Kingdom in 1965. As you can see, it contains a halfpenny or halfpenny, a penny, a threepence, a sixpence, 2 shillings, a half crown, a crown, and a florin. 1956, 9 years earlier, was the last year they had minted the farthing, which was worth 1/4 of a penny, and it ceased to be legal tender on the 1st of January 1961. These coins are part of what is known as the Carolingian system, because it was a currency system introduced by the Emperor Charlemagne around 793 or 794 CE. As silver was more readily available than gold in Northern Europe, Charlemagne introduced a pure silver currency. The basic weight of the coin became a pfund, or pound, from which 240 pfennig could be struck. Eventually, the Carolingian system featured 3 denominations in the ratio 1, 20, 240, the units of which went under different names in different languages, but which corresponded to the Latin terms libra, or pound, solidus, shilling, and denarius, or penny. King Offa of Mercia originally introduced the system into the British Isles to facilitate transactions with the Catholic Church. However, it endured long competition from the Viking coinage system, which was introduced into the Danelaw, a section of what is now England, and was based on settlement in marks. That mark-based system continued to be used in the North Sea region and other areas with Hanseatic influence for most of the Middle Ages, but in Britain the Carolingian system eventually prevailed and was later transported throughout most of the empire. Over time, the large distinctions between the pound, shilling and penny became unwieldy, and the relative value of many goods and services was low in relation to a penny, so other coins were created. For the coins present in this set, there were 2 halfpennies to the penny, 3 pennies in the threepence, 2 threepenny bits in the sixpence, and 2 sixpences in a shilling. There were 5 shillings in a crown, which means 2 shillings and sixpence in a half crown. There were, however, 2 shillings in a florin, which meant that a florin was 1/10 of a pound, while a crown was 1/4 of a pound. Sometimes prices of luxury goods and furniture were expressed by merchants in guineas, although the guinea coin had not been struck since 1799. A guinea was 21 shillings. Perhaps you can see why it was felt that decimalisation might be a better system. The obverse of these coins features the young laureate portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. The designer's initials are located on the truncation of the bust and require a degree of magnification to see clearly. It was the standard design used on British coinage from the Queen's ascent to the throne in 1953 until 1970. However, the first decimal currency started to be minted with an Arnold Nation portrait in 1968. Special Maundy money, not for circulation, has continued to be produced with the Gillick portrait on occasion. Around the outside on some of the coins are the legend for the words Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, which is, in English, Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. However, some of the larger denominations do not have the FD on the obverse. The legend for Britanniarum Omnium, Queen of all the Britons, which had featured on her predecessor's coins, was removed at the beginning of her reign after the production of one initial set. On the reverse of the halfpenny, we see a 3-masted ship, traditionally Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, sailing left with the denomination above and the date below. The designer's initials are on the right. The 1 penny features a seated figure of Britannia, looking right with trident in her left hand and a shield bearing the Union flag in her right. The sea is behind her, with a lighthouse to the left, the denomination above, and the date at the bottom. A new design, replacing the 3-headed thrift plant which had appeared on her father's threepence, appears on this 3-penny bit. It depicts a Tudor portcullis or gate and side chains with a crown above, dividing the value. Once again, the date is below. The sixpence also features a new design. Here we see the Tudor rose at the top, a shamrock at the base, a thistle to the right, and a leek on the left aligned in a cross, with the denomination and the date below. It has the legend Fid Def repeated at the top of the coin because it did not appear on the obverse. During the reign of George VI, there were separate shillings featuring the English and Scottish crests, and that tradition is continued on the 2 shillings in this set, although it is shields rather than crests that distinguish the pair of shilling coins. The English shield features the 3 lions, while the Scottish one has the single lion rampant. Once again, the defender of the faith is at the top of the coins, with the denomination at the base, while the shield divides the date. On the reverse of the florin, we see a central Tudor rose, surrounded by thistles, shamrocks and leeks. Once more, the legend for Fide Defensatrix is above, while the denomination and the date are below. Here, on the half crown, is a crowned quartered shield of arms, flanked by the letters E and R. Once more, the legend is above, while the denomination and date are below. The final crown coin shows a sombre-looking portrait of Sir Winston Churchill, who died on the 24th of January 1965, facing right. The Royal Mint described the Churchill crown as one of the most difficult ever produced. Each cupro-nickel crown had to be struck by 2 extremely heavy presses. Some details, such as the designer's initials, had to be removed from the original design, and the relief was flatter than the sculptor had intended. Nigeria was the last country to abandon the Carolingian system in 1973, when the pound there was replaced by the naira. Interestingly, it was as recently as 2013 that the last Carolingian banknote ceased to be legal tender, with the demise of the Isle of Man 10-shilling note. I hope you've enjoyed looking at these coins with me. If you have, please like the video and leave a comment down below. If you haven't done so already, you might also consider subscribing to my channel to ensure that you do not miss any of the upcoming videos from my collection.